So now we're going to do the interior design, and I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to really get you started on it. Okay, so again, I have to figure out how it's going to be drawn. So let me look at what plate. This is in fractional inches, 248 and a half, 106 and 3/4. This is fractional inches. Let me first of all set my units for fractions inches. And I'm just going to draw a line that's like 250 long and do my double click or zoom extents. Now I kind of got it, and I can bring that drawing in so I can look at it a little bit more closely. Come on. Try that again. And yes, I have turned the recording back on. So I am recording this one. Unfortunately, I'm recording myself not getting my drawing in there very well. There we go. So now let's investigate it a little bit. I see a big rectangle that's 24 and a half by 106 and 3/4. That's good. And I see this rectangle at the top and this rectangle, so I can get all that. And then I see things are cut up. This is a rectangle, 16 and 5/8, 31 and 1/8, 27. Now this one's weird, 24 and 24 and 1/16. They're just showing a gap for the refrigerator. So I can just make that 24. 35 and a 16th and 35 and 3/4. Again, they're just showing the refrigerator. I can do 35 and 3/4. 30, 24, 24, a 12 and a 24, which is a 36. Okay. I'm going to see if I can just get a layout. And then look, they gave me this height and this height. They didn't give me these. I'm going to have to guess. They didn't give me these. I'm going to have to guess. They gave me this height. And they gave me this height, but not these. So there's a little bit of guesswork to doing this. And the level that I'd like you to get it to is recognizable. I don't need a flower pot. I don't need an ice maker. I don't need a keypad. I don't need whatever this is. I don't even know what that is. It's, I don't know. Is that like a little TV and a base or something? I don't know. I don't need the little lights or the light switches. So just make something that's sort of kind of like that. And I see that everything's all kind of on the same layer. So I'm just going to use my thin layer. That's what I'm going to use. The layers, thin. Gem styles. It looks like it's fractional. And it's going to go on an 11 by 17 title block. All right, here we go. Get myself on the thin layer and I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to go 248-1/2. I'm going to go up 106 and 3/4. And then I'm just going to copy you know, you don't have to copy, but you could probably just redraw it quick. And then I see this goes all the way across, 7 3/4, offset, 7-3/4, and then an offset of 3. That's cool. I'm going to see if I can get this to work. Break this line right there. Is that the coolest thing you ever saw? Now, I could have just redrawn that line or trimmed it and redrawn it. That break command is really cool. But now I can just do offset, 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 and get things set. So let's see. Offset 16 5/8. Offset 31 1/8. Kind of weird. Offset 27 24. See how that goes? You just keep going across. 35 3/4. $30. 24. And then there's a 12 and another 24. Oh. And if I check my distance, 24, okay. So I've done the basics of it there. Okay, so now I can do these ones, 29 3/4, and I'll show you my preferred way of doing it. I actually draw a line and then I move it. So now I've got that and that and that and that laid out. Now this next one looks like these all line up at 42 from the top. So let me draw all the way across and then move that one down 42. But I know that this one has to trim out. And I don't know what it is, but it's less than this. So I'm going to make it 24. That kind of looks 20. If I put my fingers up, I think it's about 24. And then actually, that one looks like it carries across to there. So now I've got this, and I've got this and this. I think I've got those right. Something doesn't look, looks like I'm off on one of those somehow. Those don't look like they're both 24 for some reason. Oh, they're not. One's 30 and one's 24. That's good. And then I've got that. Okay, so I'm going okay. And then I've got this one that's at 36. These all trim out. I just don't know what this one is. I'm kind of weird why that's so low or what's going, but that maybe that's a counter where somebody sits and that's a laptop. So countertops where people sit are usually 30, I think. Is there one of you who knows interior design can help me out there? But I think that that's probably 30 because it's where somebody sits. Maybe. That could be. It's probably, yeah, probably 32. I'll leave it like that just for now, just cut. So look, right there, I've got a bunch. And if that's all you were able to do, that's cool. That's perfectly fine. So now the trick is how much work do you want to do making these little shelfy things, right? Well, a lot of them are in rectangles that are 12 by, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them that are like 12 by 42 rectangles. Well, I'll just leave that one like that for now. Okay. I hate it when I do that. So now I can copy these because I've got a bunch of them. And where do those ones go? Into the 24s. That one's a 24. So it definitely goes into those. So you see how you can pretty quickly and easily get these things kind of made up if you feel like doing that much work. That wasn't too bad, and I got those ones done. And I could go through the same process for these ones that are 30 wide. Now, this is kind of cool. This one's 24, but it's not as tall. And I can actually stretch these to get to the height that I want. Isn't that cool? I think that's a neat thing to be able to do. So it leaves the dimensions of your handle. It basically just, so if I do the stretch command, it sort of says, like, see how I'm above the handle? So it'll leave everything inside the box alone. So look at how weird it is if I do this. See? Because it was leaving certain things alone. So you got to get good at picking what you want. And I didn't go to a specific dimension, but I could get those into these two pretty quick and easy if I knew what my dimension was, my height was that I wanted. I could stretch it right to that height. So that's what I'm saying is you don't need a ton of work. Just, something that's just kind of sort of like it. I don't want you to spend much more than an hour on this. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Anna also says that it's 32. So just play around, put in the effort that you wish to. For those of you who are into interior design, in not next week, but the following week, I'll show you how to make these dynamic blocks that you can pull in and then just adjust with some dimensional tapping to go in. Like if this is a very common thing that you use and you want to be able to vary the width and the height, you should be able to just type in the door size and pop them in there. Same with drawers. So I'll show you how to make what's called a dynamic block of certain things that you could put in pretty quickly. And then you can see how fast you could get this done and see whatever else you might want to rearrange. Okay? So there we go. I'm going to turn off the recording from this one. Oh, not quite yet. Let me go put it over here. And show you how to get some of the items on it. So here's my layout. I went to my def points layer. Put my layout in. Now I'm going to click on that layout and find out. That looks like 1 to 20. That looks pretty good. That's a nice looking scale. And so I can lock it again if I want. And now let's see if I can get some annotations in here. I'm going to use my fractional linear. And I kind of put it way up high. Then I think they had another one that went to like where the refrigerator was. But you'll figure maybe it went to the other side of the refrigerator. I don't remember where it went. But you'll see that you'll be able to put these in. And there's a cool one if you want to make them go kind of quick. You can say continue. And then you can just go click, click, click. So that's the continuous dimensioning button. And it is kind of neat. It's pretty quick. And it does some of these automatically. See how it couldn't fit it in there, so it put it up above? So that's kind of nice. That's the continue button. Continue. Well, yes, probably. And really, there's no electrician in the world that's actually going to read a drawing. They're just going to say that you got two receptacles there, and they're just going to put them in. It's like I'll never go by that. And who cares where they are, so long as you've got them both in there, right? Um, so I used fraction for that one. Anna asked, what did I use? I used from the Design Center, I used the one called fractional. Now, if you wanted to, you could modify that. If you didn't like the way the fractional looks, you can always modify it to put tick marks in, or there's tons of things to modify if you feel like it. But that's the one that I use, and I don't think I got the dimension that they were looking at on this one. I don't remember what they were doing. But again, it's up to you how much effort you put into this one. I'm mostly interested that the rectangles are there and that your dimensions dimension out properly along the top and the bottom, that you can get those dimensions in there. And of course, you'll need to make some refrigerator that's not quite right, because that's why their dimensions are just a little off down below. I don't know why they did that, but they have a specific a refrigerator in there that they dimensioned somehow. I think it's wrong. I don't like it. I just don't like it, but that's okay. All right. Any other questions on this one? On the inches and the like? Yeah, so if you want to change it so it always says, usually there'll be some note that says inches. Oh, and I put all those on the def points layer, I think. Let me see. Where did I put my annotation on? Yeah, I put them all in the def points layer. They won't show up. It does. Well, some places do and some places don't. Here's what you get to do. If you go to primary units, you can put a suffix of the inch symbol on there. And then they all say inches. Is that the coolest thing? So you can. That one is, that's a good one. Let me make sure that was still recorded. Yes, I was still in the recording. This is a little funny looking too. I would prefer to see it like that, because then I really know. That other one just looked funny. I like that, but then also, maybe I'll put it that one looks kind of okay too. Maybe you can play around with that to make it look good. Okay. Any other good questions? Those are really good. All right, then I'm going to stop